Welcome to another episode of On the Capital Stand. I am your host David, and alongside, as in every week, our friend John. John, how you doing?
Good, David. How's it going?
Great, my friend. I want to thank everybody that is watching us live. All of you who are watching this later on during the week. All of you who are listening to us on audio form, whatever you consume your podcasts in every application, we're there. And I would like to remind everybody that we are live on Twitch at On the Capo Stand, on Twitter at On the Capo Stand, on YouTube at David's Channel 76. And we can also be found on Instagram at On the Capo Stand. And we're also live on Facebook on the Capo Stand podcast. So if you want to be with us on the show, you can email us at foodiefan76 at Yahoo. We'll send you the link so you can be with us live, talk to us. Obviously, you can comment and let us know your feelings about what's going on. Before we move on to what's going on with Orlando City, I would like to talk about some news of world football. LAFC unfortunately fell to Leon for the CONCACAF Championship. Unfortunately, we couldn't go back to back as a league to claim the championship and return to the Club World Cup. Congratulations to Leon. They played their game. LAFC had an incredible tifo, very good. Unfortunately, they could not finish him as the tifo claim. Our U20s unfortunately are out of the U20 World Cup as they fell 2-0 to Uruguay. Disastrous game with an own goal that will make you crawl back into bed. Aside from that, so right now the semifinal is Uruguay against Israel this Thursday at 1:30 p.m. and Italy against South Korea at 5 p.m. You don't have to know me very well to know who I'm rooting for. So Israel and Italy, they're the places where my wife claims ancestry. Her maternal grandparents were born in Italy, and obviously, her paternal grandparents were Austrian Jewish. So rooting for those guys. Israel. I'm gonna mention this. Two of the goal scorers. One was a Israeli Arab. The other, out of the three goal scoring, one was Jewish Israeli. The other one was Israeli Arab, and the other one was a Israeli Bedouin. So there you go. Three of the five ethnic groups of Israel scoring. So to the Israeli haters that are out there that love to remind me, that's why I'm wearing my Friends of the IDF shirt to make you big mad. So there you go. And last, OCB fell 3-0 to Toronto on a game that was abandoned, unfortunately, after the 62nd minute. Power went out, and Toronto has rules on to when events can take place. And unfortunately, they could not meet that time frame, and they had to abandon. Both teams agreed they abandoned the game. Orlando City B was having an awful game anyway, so there's no reason to believe that we were going to be able to come back. Call to national teams: Cartagena Gales to Peru, Torres to Uruguay, Rivera to Puerto Rico, Tablante and Ojeda from OCB to Venezuela. Congratulations to the boys, especially Tablante and Ojeda, who have their first call out to international duty. Both players having a fantastic season with OCB. John, let's go ahead and go to our first topic. I know. Oh, before we go, that to my friend, we can go ahead and give an update on Open Cup real quick. You guys know it's our national championship. Just because our club is out of it doesn't mean it needs to be ignored. So if you are up for great football, tomorrow Cincinnati will be hosting Pittsburgh at 7 p.m. At 8:30 p.m., Chicago will be hosting Houston. Wednesday, Birmingham. We're all Birmingham for people. We're all Birmingham is going to be hosting Miami. And we expect. And rounding up the top, it will be Salt Lake City hosting LA Galaxy. So there's a lot of great football this week. Wishing everybody the best. Obviously, my heart's with the USL teams. When Orlando City's not playing, I'm all USL. All right, John. So anything to add to what we have covered so far?
Um, with the LA game, yeah, I mean that typho is a thing of beauty. Just sad that Don Garber had to make it about himself as usual. That money hungry, two faced moron of a person. If we had anything like that at our matches, the MLS would be asking for us to get whoever did it to get banned. Because I don't know if you guys saw it, but there were also there was the smoke, and then there was also some fireworks, and it looked like there were a couple flares in there as well. He actually posted
Mhm.
the video of it, and then deleted the video because he was getting so much slack for it, and just posted a photo of it. Um, but it was a beautiful typho. Hats off to LAFC. They did as good as they can until that money hungry moron released. Let's teams spend money the way they should be able to. We'll have trouble competing with the teams from Mexico and elsewhere in the world that can essentially get whoever they want to play for them. Um, but yeah, and then the national team, good job to the boys, the U20s. They showed, I thought they looked really good. Gave a good performance. Could have been better. Could have been a lot worse. They only gave up 2 goals the entire competition. Unfortunately, the 2 goals that mattered the most were the two against Uruguay. Mikey Holiday didn't look very good, unfortunately. He was exposed for both of the goals, I believe, honestly, at least the first one. The second one was just an unfortunate own goal. And yeah, U.S. Open Cup, so hopefully there's the USL teams are able to pull off a couple upsets. Depending on what FC Cincinnati does in the U.S. Open Cup with their roster and the teams left, it's honestly theirs to lose at this point if you go by the MLS table because they're playing some really good soccer that actually makes our draw to them early in the season look pretty good. That's all I
Fantastic. Oh, good deal, brother. And before we go out to talk about the world's greatest club, Orlando City, I would like to remind everybody that the reason why the U20 tournament is being played in Argentina is because the original host, Indonesia, uh, refused entry to the Israeli team, who never broke the rules. It's an international recognized country, and earned their place. So unfortunately for Indonesia, they're out of the World Cup, the U20 World Cup because of that. Sports should not be about politics, should be about good competition and brotherhood. So sucks to be you on Indonesia, and I'm laughing at you. Everybody is. All right, friends. So let's go ahead and talk about New York Red Bulls away. What a massacre. Let me go ahead and I have a comment here for you, John, to go ahead and read.
uh, Marcel Rosa, I'm late, but I'm here. What I missed? Not much. We're just starting. Just went
Nothing,
over
my
some
friend.
world football stuff. U20
Yeah,
World Cup. Our call ups to their respective national teams and the U.S. Open Cup
there you go. There you
and
go. So okay, so let's.
CONCACAF Champions League.
Yes, my friend. Okay, so eventful night at Red Bulls. 3-0 was the result. Orlando City with the 3 points, playing like never before. But let's be honest. Red Bull finished the game with 9 men, and Orlando City just capitalized on a team that was really bad. Before I give the microphone to John to talk about what happened, I wanna throw a shout out to the Viking Robin Jansen, trash talking Reyes from Red Bulls in perfect Spanish. How do I know this? How do I know this? Because I was watching the game uh, with the Spanish narration by the great Miguel Gallardo, Orlando City legend, and another legendary man, the man behind the mic, Sergio Ruiz. Orlando City Legends. They were there, and you see Robin Jansen talking all sorts of trash, and Sergio says, he's doing that in perfect Spanish because Reyes does not speak Swedish or English. So I was like impressed with Robin Jansen, who adds another language to his repertoire. He laughed at Reyes. This is before the red card too, so I was impressed with that. I wasn't expecting the uh, the Viking to pull that off. But anyways, John, impressions. We went out to New Jersey and we came back with 3 points.
Yeah, beat Energy Drink FC. Really good. So three in a row, I think, coaching performances by Poppy that he had the tactics pretty much spot on. New York's a team that doesn't like to hold possession of the ball, doesn't, wants you to sit there and the other team have possession of the ball and they'll kind of absorb it and then counterattack. If they have possession, they're pretty bad, which showed. And we waited for their fullbacks or their wingbacks. It looked like most of the game they were playing with four back. It was kind of hard to tell, but yeah, once their fullbacks got too high up the pitch, our guys on the wing, well, Angulo, honestly, they sprung the attack and we got two of our three goals that way. With very direct passing. Angulo blew by the one guy. The other one was a spot on pass by Cartagena for the first one. And I thought the team played good. I honestly thought we played better against Atlanta. We just couldn't find the back of the net. But you can't scoff at a 3-0 win away against a team that had only given up 11 goals all year before Saturday. So defensively, they were pretty decent as the Red Bulls tend to be, and put up 3 goals against them. Didn't let them score any, and come back home against another woeful team this Saturday. I'm looking for something we haven't had all year, which is back-to-back wins.
Thank you.
Yeah, the team is looking on good form right now with 9 points over our last 5 matches, which is pretty decent. Two of those were definite rivals. Columbus is a fringe rival, if you will, and it's a good time to be an Orlando City supporter right now. And Poppy's making David and I eat our words from a month or two ago.
Yep.
Thankfully, I'm happy he is, and let's hope it continues. We'll see how they perform the next, at least the next 2 matches, potentially the next 3. Depending on when guys, get back from their international duty. But we're going to be missing 3 key pieces in Gillespie, Cartagena, and Torres. They're going to be gone for at least 2 weeks, at least this match and next match, which this match is Colorado at home. And the next one is New England away. And then we come right back on Wednesday and have Philadelphia at home. So we could be missing 3 big centerpieces to our team our next 3 matches. Luckily, this week is against Colorado, and Colorado's a borderline dumpster fire right now, to say the least.
Yeah, I watched their game. They had a red card. I believe I want to say it was SKC, but the let's see here. I'm sorry. Let me get back to the table results real quick. That game was against, and my goodness, I'm sorry. I apologize, guys, because I had it here set up on my
They
phone.
played San Jose.
San Jose, and ended up 0-0, and it was a disaster. They had a red card, which obviously is going to be super beneficial for us coming up. We have another comment here. Yep. John, if you do me the favors.
Messiah Rosa, me and my brother thought the same thing, John, that we played better versus Atlanta. Yeah, I think it was pretty different match, different tactics. But Atlanta, we looked way more the dominant team.
No, absolutely. And so our goal scorers, Ivan El Rayo Angulo on the 18th minute, which basically the man just ran from end line to end line and deposited the ball in the back of the net. Also, the nervous guys because we tend to score early, and then unfortunately, that turns into a disaster as we have seen against Atlanta and New York City. Then after that, we had a very, very thankful penalty. Red Bulls again shooting themselves on the foot. And then last, uh, Ivan Angulo. What an impressive run. What made it more impressive is Ivan Angulo was a starter. This is the 72nd minute, and he's running against Mikey, no, Mikey Maya. What's his first name?
Is it Frankie?
Frankie, thank you. Frankie Maya, who was a sub, and he just completely burned him out to just basically cut across to the second post, the far post, and there was Facundo Torres salivating at the mouth and uh, basically just scoring on the 72nd minute. And after that, it's a done deal. It's a win. I think their fans were ready for the game to be over, and that was it. I mean, we won. I was impressed. Do you have the players that made the team of the week?
Yeah, it was Facundo Torres and I can't think right now. Facundo Torres. I will find this is great television.
No, don't worry about it, brother.
Facundo Torres and Angulo, and then
Angulo and Papi.
Poppy and
Yeah,
Poppy. Yeah.
good for
Uh,
him. Listen, the reason why I wanted you to say that, John, is listen. This is one of the things that happened to me. If I can tell you stories, right? I can be honest with you guys and be honest. You know, that's what the show is all about. Um, I went on Facebook to comment on a fellow Orlando City supporter who was very happy with the result and happy with Angulo. Which, by the way, a lot of people don't know this. Ivan Angulo is on loan from Palmeiras. He's not an Orlando City player per se. He's on loan. He is purchased for me come December, whatever we had to pay. He earned his money last night, in my opinion. The man is an engine. He's what a lot of people here wanted Ruan to be, and unfortunately he wasn't. And so and there's people. Well, where's the puppy out people? Listen, and I told the guys, I'm gonna take your bait. But first, let's say this: if one win, if one loss doesn't mean that Oscar needs to go. One win doesn't mean he has to stay. We defeated a trash team. That's what you do. You go and destroy teams like that. You go to Miami, you destroy teams like that. Now, when we go to Seattle, when we play Cincinnati, believe it or not, Cincinnati, the best team in MLS right now. When we play teams like that, then we can say, okay, well, he's when New England Revolution. Those are the teams that, to me, that is what sets the tone. We won, fantastic. We gotta win at home. We can't do that right now. We gotta win at home. You gotta win at home. You gotta reward your fan base. The guys that paid money to go see you. It's beautiful when we see 10, 15, 20, 100, 200 fans on the road. But what about the 25,000 plus here at home? We have to win. And we have said, John and I, that the discussion of Papi in or Papi out has to be reserved for December because we can't go, oh, we lose, oh, he's out. We win, oh, he's in. Some people want this to be some sort of contest where they want to be right. I don't care either way. I want to win because my energy, my loyalty is to the badge, to Orlando City. I don't care who's there or as a manager, I don't care who's on the pitch. I want to win. So let's start with that. Second thing, my friends, is I think this is the best we're gonna do, and I want more. I want more from our club. And lastly, friends, we have to demand the best from our club. So if Oscar Pareja tomorrow starts winning and we lift a trophy, he can stay here. I don't care because I want to win. Now, if he starts losing again, boom, boom, boom. And I have said this before. If I feel that Oscar Pareja needs to move on, it doesn't necessarily mean I want my team to lose. That's ridiculous. And with that said, who else fired their manager this past week, John?
Miami.
Anything to say about that, my friend?
I was honestly kind of surprised by it because of the injuries they've had this year. I mean, he just led them a year ago to their best season ever, playoff appearance, they win in the playoffs, David? I don't remember.
I'm sorry. What? Say that again.
Did Miami win in the playoffs? I honestly don't remember.
No, they made playoffs thanks to the defeat that the 3 points that we gifted them after 2 days rest after winning the Open Cup, and they basically they got smashed. And I'm gonna take my Orlando City hat for a minute. How embarrassing it was that Gonzalo Higuain, a very great player, as a great opponent too. While he was wearing pink, I trashed the guy all I could. But the reality is how sad it was for this man, this giant of football, to finish his career on a baseball field. Yeah, amazing. But anyways, I digress.
No, I agree. But yeah, I mean, Phil Neville, he didn't do a great job, didn't do a good job, or didn't do a bad job. Kind of wishy-washy. We got a lot of wins from his teams. So sad to see him go on that front, but it was kind of unexpected, kind of quick. Like I said, they had some key injuries this year. Had their best season as an MLS club last year, making the playoffs and such. And I thought they honestly pulled the trigger a little soon because they started the season off extremely well, and then the injuries came, and two injuries can decimate a team depending on which players it's to. But it is what it is. They still think they're going to get Messi down there, which just makes me laugh hysterically inside.
Listen,
and
there's people that believe that the earth is flat. That's what I gotta say.
There's no way. There's no way. There's no way Messi's going to Miami. I'm saying
no way.
Hopefully, I don't jinx it, but there's no way. They offer
even if he goes there, John, he's gonna be embarrassed. Imagine being embarrassed at Exploria Stadium. Imagine having a fat middle-aged man like myself telling you are worth nothing. Imagine winning the World Cup and having somebody like me laugh at you as you're wearing pink going down that tunnel with a big fat L. Yep. Incredible. John, let's read some comments here.
All right. SCL Rosa, any word on the Araujo injury? Was it precautionary? I have not heard or seen anything on Twitter based on how it looked like he was walking off. It looked like it was more precautionary.
Yeah, it's cramps, exhaustion. They have played a bunch of games.
Yeah, he's going to have to come up big the next 2 or 3 matches. Jeffrey O, great show, guys. 5 words in the air tonight. We need a stadium song, and that Phil Collins song would be epic. I got the idea because Duncan reminds me of Phil.
Thank you, Jeffrey. And no, you know what? It's I don't think we have a club song. We should. All clubs are worth their salt, as they say. They do have a fighting song, a unity song. We don't have one. And I think we should. It would be great. It's called culture. Let's start coming up with it. The problem here in Orlando is that when people want to do this type of things, people are told you are not a member of a certain organization or you can't do that, so they're shut down. That's the reason why I refuse to do that clap at the beginning, because it's imposed on people. Things organically have to happen, like the running of the wall. That, to me, that was organic. That was a beautiful moment in our club's history, and it happened because that's football, friends. That's football. So we should. Let's see here. We got another one, John.
Maceo Rosa, I would like a stadium I too would like a stadium song.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. We need one. And like I said, we have it has to be on consensus. I think, for example, real quick before we read the next comment, um, in Minnesota, they sing Wonderwall because a former NASL player after a victory walked into the locker room singing it, and after that it just people heard the story and they're like, okay, so when we win we're gonna do that. And I think it's beautiful
Hmm.
that those folks get to do that. I think in Orlando we should have that, but it should happen organically. Like I said, it should be something that unify us. And again, the club needs to talk to the fan base, not just particular groups, the fan base, and get their feeling about it. Certainly my overseas clubs have the songs that pump them up. I know them. So, and I'm a fan for 7,000 miles away. So obviously I would like that here in town. Another comment.
William Aguilar. I don't think Phil should have been let go, especially after he got Miami so far into Open Cup. That's so ironic if we compare it to Orlando City's situation. Yeah, especially last year. I know we've said it on here before. Before the Red Bulls match last year in the Open Cup. If we had lost that one, Poppy was in all likelihood gone. But again, they waited. You made a very good
Listen,
point.
I know from good sources, John,
Yeah.
that they were there to
Oh yeah.
fire. The ownership was there to fire him
Mhm.
on if we had lost at Red versus Red Bull. Don't let anybody fool you. I am not a person that likes to tell lies, to make up things, you know. And if you're like, oh, David, I miss you when you say these type of things. Well, you gotta thank the people, the bullies on the social media that still wear a badge of honor thinking they ran me away from Twitter. So there you go. Now go figure it out. Go find somebody that for free will do the work of a beat writer or of a beat journalist. Now you don't have that person, but I can assure you that was a fact.
Yeah, but what I was, William, that's one thing that I never even thought of. They're, in the quarterfinals of the U.S. Open Cup, and
Mm-hmm.
they were one of the probably
One of the
top two
favorites on it
teams.
right now.
Yeah, based on who's left to compete in it, it looks like it. Even still, it should be them and Cincinnati in the semifinals on this side of the bracket, and then you
Mm-hmm.
got. LA Galaxy and I can't remember the other teams on the West because
Salt
the
Lake,
West Coast
Salt Lake.
doesn't
I think
exist.
it's Salt Lake, LA Galaxy.
Yeah,
I can go back, but
but yeah, you made a very good point there, William. Is what I was getting to. At least we were going to wait until we were out of the U.S. Open Cup until that run ended, and luckily for Poppy, the run ended in us lifting a trophy. So you can't
mhm.
really get rid of a guy after you lift a trophy,
No, absolutely. I
especially
gotta be
that's
honest with. I'm sorry, John, to interrupt you. I'm gonna
you're
be
fine.
honest with you guys. I'm a Floridian first, and I'm a football fan. And to be honest with you, if Miami won that champion, I'll be happy with that because our state, the football culture in our state, once again gets rewarded. Firing Phil, I think it was disrespectful to the fact that he this wasn't his own doing, that the club was fined for cheating. He didn't have anything to do with that, and the guy has to coach with sanctions that expired this year. Hold and behold, and again, sometimes ownership needs to look at the fans and say, "Shut up." This is how we fire Inchy. New fans to MLS that had no attachment to Inchy, did not know him. Like, let's fire him, fire him, fire him. We brought Jason Christ, which was worse. By the way, Jason Christ was fired alongside Phil. So the reality for Inter Miami, in my opinion, my humble opinion as a fan of the sport for 29 years, is that they're gonna stay where they are. Nothing's gonna happen, and by firing Phil, perhaps they have compromised their opportunity to lift silverware on a otherwise oblique and obscure season. But again, they came into the league thinking that we're gonna be the next Atlanta. Look where they are. Sucks to be you. So that's it, my friends. So We finish off our game at Red Bulls, and we are coming home. We are coming home to face another dumpster fire, John. Colorado.
Yep.
Colorado right now. Let's visit our friends at Colorado up in the Rocky Mountains. They're coming down to the sea level. And Colorado right now, as we speak, they're 13th out of 14 teams in the Western Conference with 13 points. Only two wins. But again, they are facing an Orlando City that has a home record of 2-3-3. You heard me right, friends. Orlando City has won two stinking games out of eight they have played at home. One of the worst home records in all of MLS. Certainly one of the worst home records for any team above the playoff line right now. In comparison, if you want to look at this in the East, Cincinnati has won all their home games. That's what a championship team does. That's what a team that makes the right decisions of getting a new manager, getting better players. That's what they do. So they have won all their games at home, followed by six victories from Nashville, six victories from Philadelphia, and friends. I'm sorry, you look at you look at these results. St. Louis, six victories at home. Seattle, five victories at home. LA, five victories at home. You gotta win at home. You gotta win at home, John.
Yeah. Right now we're relying on away victories, which I just don't see, away results, period, which I just don't see, is not sustainable in soccer anywhere in the world. You have to win at home, have to win at home and kind of hope for depending on the team, hope for a draw away. And right now we're hoping for a draw at home and relying on that win away, which, good, like you said, good teams don't do. Let's hope they're turning it around. Like I said, 2 games ago against Atlanta was a really promising performance. Unfortunately, we just couldn't get the ball in the back of the net. Hopefully, that doesn't become a trend of this team. That we look dominating, and then the ball's just not going over the goal line into the net. But they've made strides. They've made strides the last month, for sure, over the last 5 matches. Look better. Came back against Columbus. Then we beat Miami. Then I may have that mixed up, but you know where I'm going with that. We've looked much better over the last month. Hopefully, us losing some players because of international duty, well-deserved international duty on the 3 players' parts. Doesn't put a screeching halt to what has been building over the last month, which is this team's just getting better, getting more threatening in the attack. Defensively, we're looking stronger in the back, and you got to score more than one goal at home. Luckily, Colorado gives up a lot of goals. They've given up 25 goals. They're 25 goals against on the season to, I believe it's 14 or 15 that they've scored. So when we've played teams like that this year, LA, Miami, New York, even though New York hasn't given up that many, they just don't score any either. They're actually worse than us scoring the ball, believe it or not. But yeah, we should. I hope Saturday they come out and luckily we have a deeper bench than we've had in the past, where we get to replace Facundo Torres with Ojeda, which, in my opinion, there's very few substitutes in the league that you can say that about.
Mm-hmm.
And then the biggest question mark is who's going to fill in for Cartagena. I hope it's Dagger Dan. I feel like he really deserves more minutes. He did get some minutes against Charlotte in the Open Cup, and that was just an abysmal game by the club. So I'm not going to sit there and say he had a bad game. Everybody had a bad game as a whole, coaching staff, everybody. So, I feel like we should come away with the victory on Saturday. Despite losing those players, we have a very good backup goalkeeper. Didn't have the greatest showing on Sunday night for OCB, but those things happen. It's more than just the
Can
keepers.
win them all, baby.
Yeah. So I'm positive. I'm like I said to begin the show. I'm happy Poppy's kind of making David and I eat our words. It just has to continue. Has to continue with some wins, some convincing wins through the regular season. No summer fall off like we've had every season.
Which I don't think is gonna happen, John, because
Yeah.
we have Leagues Cup sort
Mhm.
of give us a breather, if you will. So if it continues that way, maybe the summer of sadness, as it has been known for a while, it may not happen this year or any
And
other year.
carry it into the playoffs. Win a couple games, and you could be in the conference semifinals. Depending on what happens, with them doing the pool play. Vixen McCasey just commented, it wouldn't surprise if Inter Miami go with another British coach. Hint, hint. Sam, and I'm going to butcher this, Allardyce. He was rumored to be the U.S. men's national team coach a couple years back. So he won't mind coaching in the U.S. I honestly, Vixen, don't know who that is. My apologies, I'm not familiar with that name. Do you know
Yeah,
that?
I'm not familiar with that
Yeah,
that coach, but if you can, if Vixen, if you can tell us a little bit more, that would be great.
definitely. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, none of us claim here to be, completely well known,
The only
but
thing I know from the last coaching change was it was pretty much Berhalter got the job, and then the only person they allegedly interviewed for all of about a half hour was Poppy. So that's all. That's as much as I know about
yeah, for
previous.
sure. Talking about the U.S. national team, I would like to read the list of the players that are going to be called up real quick. Like flash. Goalkeepers: Drake Callender from Inter Miami, surprising by the way. My man Josh Cohen from Maccabi Haifa. Sean Johnson from Toronto. Matt Turner from Arsenal, former New England Revolution player. Defender Serginho Dest, AC Milan. Chris Richards, Crystal Palace. Uh, Anthony Robinson, Fulham. Miles Robinson, Atlanta United. Joe Scully, Borussia Mönchengladbach, and I hope I said that correctly. My German is very rusty. Austrian trustee, Birmingham City. Walker Zimmerman, Nashville. SC, the midfielders. Jody Cardoso, he international. I guess it's a Brazilian team. I'm sorry. Luca de la Torre, Celta Vigo, Spain. Weston McKinney, Leeds United. Yunus Musa, Valencia. Gio Reyna, Borussia Dortmund. Dortmouth. I believe that's how it's pronounced. Alan Sonora, FC Juarez. And the forwards, Brendan Aronson, Leeds United. Florian Balogun. Hopefully I said that correctly. Come on, guys.
You said it.
Stade Reims, France. Taylor Booth, Utrecht in the Netherlands. Ricardo Pepi, Groningen in the Netherlands. Christian Pulisic in Chelsea. Tim Weah, Lille in France. And last, Alex Sendejas in Club America. So those are the men that are going to be called to the camp. I will have to say, because there's a lot of trash talking that has been going on about my man Josh Cohen. Let me tell you something. Josh Cohen went to, first of all, the man has lifted 5 trophies in Israel, and also did a deep run in the UEFA's Champions League. The guy played against Messi, against Mbappe, some of the greatest players Europe has to offer. And Josh Cohen is, in my opinion, one of the saddest stories in American football, because this kid was toiling away in Sacramento Republic. Nobody in MLS took a chance on this guy. This guy goes to Israel, and he has exploded. And I'm happy that he's been called up to this camp, because, in my opinion, he's the best goalkeeper in that group. And Matt Turner, I'm sorry, you're gonna be sitting down on this one if there's competition, if there's open competition. You heard it from me first. So with that said, John, I gotta tell you about the Colorado situation. I'll make it brief because I've been talking for a long time. I'll make it brief. We're at home. Colorado is coming here after a disastrous home game. We gotta beat them for two reasons. Number one, my friends from England are gonna be there to hopefully witness another W. Every time they come, it's a W, so it has to happen. And second, we have to win at home. We have to reward the fans. I know I keep harping on this, guys, but the fact of the matter is we can't continue this situation. One of the things that many of you say on social media is that we tend to play to the level of the team that we're playing. We can't do that. You know, I gotta share some wisdom with you. When you are the best, you can't be humble when you are the best. The time for handshaking and backslapping is at friendlies. That's when you do that at friendlies. No, this Saturday has to be a bloodbath. What you did in New York in New Jersey, you have to do it at home. You have to reward the fans. John, we you know, I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say, my friend.
You're right. You're right. I can't say it much better. You know, we have to win at home. We have to win big at home. Make it an impressive win. Going back to the men's national team,
Yeah, man.
I'm really excited about Bulligan. He's was England U23 international player, called up to the
Wasn't that the
U23.
kid that his parents like stopped in New York to visit friends, gave birth, and then went to England? Was that him?
I don't think they live. I believe they lived in New York for a little bit. I don't think it was
Okay.
they were just visiting. But yeah, I believe it's Nigerian, and I know it's England and U.S. Heritage. He's signed for Arsenal on loan and I can't think of the name right now, but it's a team in France. Scored 22 goals with 2 assists this season. The guy looks like about as complete striker as you can have without being Kylian Mbappe.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the real deal. He was supposed to be the next striker for next forward, center forward once for England once Harry Kane retired, and luckily he grew short on patience and through social media and visiting the U.S. He was actually in Orlando the last U.S.
I
camp.
remember that.
And social media went haywire with it. People, anytime he'd post anything, people were posting American flags all over his comments and everything. And you know, it's really exciting for him to be playing for the United States. It's a win for us that we are able to have a player like him and putting him up front with the guys we already have in the attack. Could be something special building towards 2026, and 2026 is huge. I mean, 94 did us some good. I was really too young to remember 94, David. I'm gonna make you feel old. I was 5 years old in 1994.
I was 18, so it's okay.
You know, but I remember it. I remember seeing Alexi Lawless out there with his big red goatee and everything, and
Of course,
you know
yeah.
what it did for soccer in this country and this next year. If I'm not saying we have to win it, but if we have a good showing where we make the quarterfinals, semifinals, which with this group of players
No, absolutely.
that we have coming up now that are already in the senior national team and the groups that are just out, you know, the kids that are just outside looking in, and we have was it 3 key players, I believe it is, that got time during the World Cup that are currently out because of injury, including Tyler Adams. Can't wait. I can't wait for like Vixen, if you want to pull it up.
Yeah. I was about to.
Perfect point. I was just going to say it, looked up and saw it. Vixen said, I wish the U.S. men's national team had qualifiers for this upcoming World Cup so we can see a player like Bolligan play in Honduras, El Salvador. It was interesting to see Rain and Aronson play games there. Yeah, I mean, it's CONCACAF. We got teams in the richest country in the world that have VAR in the middle of the infield. We got teams, in the middle of a tournament. We got dogs running out in the middle of the field during the
You
Champions
gotta
League
love it,
tournament.
man. You gotta love
Um,
it.
you got the dark arts that happen more than I feel like anywhere else with time wasting and stuff. You can play
Hmm.
on a pristine field in Orlando, Florida on Wednesday, and then on Saturday you're in a mud pit and
Whatever. Yeah.
wherever wherever it may be, and it's a beautiful thing. I love
Hmm.
it. I love the disparity between the different countries that are in our
It's the beauty
region.
of football.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think what I would like to see this World Cup cycle, since we're already qualified, right? We don't have to sweat it out like the rest of the world. I would like to see the United States uh, play some South American teams, some African teams. I think Africa is it's being ignored. They are the silent killer, my opinion. They're coming up. Morocco prove that they can ball, and I would like to see us against some African countries. I would like for us to play against some European countries as well. I think it's an opportunity for us to go play in some hostile environments, some places where they're not gonna give us any love. If we stay in our bubble in Concacaf, beating uh, going to the islands, going to Barbados or Trinidad or Jamaica, beating a bunch of kids from those islands, diaspora in England and Ireland. We're not gonna win games. I'm gonna tell you the truth. No disrespect to the islands. I'm from the islands, and I gotta tell you, the Caribbean is the weakest link of Concacaf, and you're not gonna get anything out of them.
So, David,
Uh,
we do have in 24. I don't know if you're aware, the U.S. And there's a couple other CONCACAF nations that are competing in it. We'll be in the Copa America that'll be hosted
Oh,
here in
we're
the
back.
United States.
Listen, Copa America should replace Gold Cup.
Hmm.
And listen, I know we're deviating away from Orlando City right now, but let's be honest. Everything is awesome. See you guys next week. So we gotta fill the hour with some. One of the things to me that I have always been a big proponent is there's no reason that the American continent should be split into two confederations. I know that some people don't want that because especially South American countries, it works in their favor to stay the way that things are. But the American champion, when I say American, I'm talking about the continent, people. America is more than just the United States. The American champion should be the winner of the Copa America. The name, it's on the name. It's on the
Hmm.
name. I think Copa Centenario, the 100-year anniversary, and we have somebody coming up here in a second. Um, was a success here in the United States. To me, it was a success. You don't need to feel bad for the South American countries because their expats were there in force. You can I'm telling you right now, every country that played in that tournament was well represented by
Hmm.
Americans of descent from those countries. And to be honest with you, I'm super excited. It's gonna be played in the United States, right, John?
Yeah, United States is hosting. I believe the host cities still have to be announced. I remember, what was it, 2012, 2013?
2019, I believe it was when the Copa Centenario that was played.
No, no, no. When the U.S. was last in the Copa America, when it
Yeah,
was
it was the one. Yeah, it
it was
was the one we
2012,
played
2013. It was a
Centenario. Yeah, that was played here in the United States.
great tournament, great atmosphere everywhere, great experience for our national team. Even though at that time we had a bunch of veterans, guys in their prime.
And some
Still,
games were played here, by the way, John, at the Camping World. But some of the
yeah.
games were played here.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, none with big drawing teams. I think the biggest draw that we had here in Orlando was Haiti. We have a big
Yeah.
Haitian community here in Florida. Aside from that, unfortunately, we didn't get the teams that have big populations here in the state. but definitely was something. So yeah,
Yeah.
man. Hopefully it will be great. We have our friend William Aguilar. Let me go ahead and usher you in. Welcome, William. You're on the capo stand, my friend. How you doing?
Hey, William.
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Good.
Doing
Uh,
great, my brother.
yeah.
Anyways, your thoughts on what's going on with Orlando City?
Um. Well, we did what we had to do, like what we've been asking for. Winning against the weak teams. Miami, New York Red Bulls. It's not like we won against LAFC. So I
Mhm.
mean, I'm not being pessimist. But
Realist.
I think we have to give credit to what happened instead of idealizing. What Orlando City is. It's not like we're champions now. Uh, So my stance in what regarding Oscar Pareja is yeah, still out. I mean, you might not share the same thing with me. Um it is a good result that he won against those two teams, but I think he's lacking. If it wasn't for individual effort of certain players,
Hmm.
I don't think Pareja has an idea of how to make the team work.
Who was your man of the match?
Angulo for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I think I said this in the previous podcast. Well, not in the same way, but like I think I've hint at it. You guys have to chain up Angulo. He's gonna leave soon. You gotta do something about it before he leaves. Um, I've always praised him ever since I saw him play first. I think the one time that he got me into like what his skills are was the Seattle Sounders game back in 2022. Last
Oh
season.
yeah, we came from behind to win that game. I was to my
Yep,
surprise, by the way.
yep. He was in there. I think instead of back then, instead of putting Benjamin Mitchell, I think they put Angulo
Hmm.
or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but
Yeah.
I remember seeing him play, and that's when I said to myself, "This is the guy for next season."
Yeah.
Because he came late into the season. I remember.
And he's the one
Uh,
that created the started the chain of events that led to the opening goal in the Open Cup final as well. Can't forget that. I don't know if you
And
remember. He causes the turnover. Benjamin Shaw gets the ball and just
yeah,
ushers the ball for Facundo Torres to bury that sucker. It still gives me chills because the microphone's cracking at the sound of 25,500 people screaming at unison. I always wonder if the people outside of the stadium, what that feels like when people scream like that. It was a beautiful night. But hey, William, let me ask you this, man.
yeah.
I'm with you on the sense that, yeah, I still steadfast on my opinion that we can do better,
Mhm.
and for right now, for Oscar Pareja to remain, I mean, he has to do some monumental work. I can change my mind. We all change our minds in life. If I'm a firm believer that truth doesn't scream at you, it convinces you, right? So if Oscar Pareja does work to make me fall in love with him again, I'm not gonna stop him. I want to win. I don't think there's a single member of this fan base that wants our club to lose. None. So with that said, what needs to happen for you to change your mind before now and December 2023?
I mean, just to start, just to scratch the surface, I would say just to win the next two home games, just to
Hmm.
start. That will create a bit more of confidence as to like because not only is it winning at home, but also keeping the winning streak. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah, for sure.
yeah, so that's just to build the confidence. Going forward with the season, I think we're just a couple matches, away from the end. Well, not a couple. You know what I mean. Like
Yeah,
we're like halfway there.
for sure. Yeah,
No.
I mean, we're in June, halfway through. Basically, after this month, we start going towards 2024. People can't forget about that. And John and I are gonna be talking about what's in store for us this summer. But one last thing, William, this Saturday, Colorado comes to town. Expectations. What you want to see this
Um,
Saturday for your Lions?
okay, well, like I said before, another win
Hmm.
at home. It doesn't matter the result. Like it could be 1-0, 2-1, but we have to win at least for the bare minimum. Um, my expectation or my expected result of the match, personally, will be a 2-1. Orlando City winning.
Doable, doable. To be honest with you, I wouldn't. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna be more audacious, more ambitious than you, man. I think we just gotta have the same performance that we had at Red Bulls. So definitely, I'm with you on that. We have somebody else coming on, uh, but I can't let you go, William. We're congratulating you for your cornhole champion tag, you savage. That is super funny, man. So thank you for sharing that with us, my friend. Hey, where can we find you on social media, William?
Oh, I'm on Instagram as Willow Aguilar. So it's WILO and then Aguilar, like my last name. Um, and William Aguilar on Facebook, the same thing.
Fantastic, my
So,
friend. Well, Will, thank you for coming on. I enjoy having you on, man, and hopefully you will be here next week to talk about a win at home
yeah,
versus Colorado. Okay.
yeah, and hopefully in this background too. I don't want to be in my car again.
There you go. There you go. All right, my
Okay,
friend.
Thanks,
Bye.
Will.
all right.
And if you're listening to us, we had somebody and they dropped. So that's why I was saying goodbye to Will. So hopefully that person will come back on. So I don't want to say the name because I don't want to embarrass anybody. But my friend, if you're oh, there it is. There he is. Ahmed, you are on the
Mad.
campus, and we lost you for a
Hey,
second, bro. How
hey,
was Mexico, by the way? I was I was watching your whereabouts, brother.
that was, let me tell you, that was so much fun. I actually got to meet a Tigres fan at the bar at the hotel one night, and
Oh,
we
you
stayed
kidding
and
me?
chatting for some time. It was good. Yeah, it was a lot of
Awesome.
very nice.
So we're in Mexico. I know you were all over the place posting pictures of food, making the rest of us poor people
It was
angry.
we were in Tijuana actually. We were in Tijuana.
TJ,
Yeah,
yes,
it
yes.
was first time there. It was definitely a fun experience.
Oh, that's fantastic, brother. That's
I literally
fantastic.
just got back home today. That's why I sent you that message. I was like, I
Oh, yeah, yeah.
watched the
Well,
episode on the flight home. I'm like, oh my god, we gotta get on.
welcome back, my friend. Welcome back. Hopefully you got your batters recharged. School
Yeah,
is just over, so
absolutely.
looking forward to the summer. So, anyways, I mean, we went to Red Bulls. We got 3 points, a complete destruction of Red Bulls. Nothing else to be said about them. I mean, we're done with them for the season. I unfortunately for that fan base, another year where they're not gonna be lifting anything
Yeah.
other than their nose off the floor. And Orlando City comes home with 3 points. What was what's your opinion of what happened? Your expectation coming on Saturday?
I have to say the last three games, and I was able to go to the Miami game with my son, and
Oh, what was that experience? Tell us about
it
it.
was amazing. It really was, just because we were able to have so many people, and I honestly wish we had more local games like that because I think it would help build that culture. Because there's nothing like it to have that many of the supporters there. And even like when Miami comes or when Atlanta comes, that's what we need. We need more of that. But it was a great game. I think we played well. I think we played better against Atlanta. I really do, regardless of the outcome. Um, you want to say we did great with the Red Bulls, but if you look at the games that we won and the games that we drew, the games we won were against teams who were below us in the table. If you want to look at it on the numbers, right? So part of me is like, okay, yeah, we won, but shouldn't we have won those games? Like, is it really a huge accomplishment that we won them? I mean,
Mhm.
I'm glad. For me, the biggest thing about the recent games, I hope that the guys, because a big part of this is mental, and I feel like that's what the team needed, what the guys needed, to feel like they got it and they got that flow and they're gelling. To me, that's the biggest thing about the last three games. If I had to rank them, I think the Atlanta game was the best game in the last three.
Mhm. Mhm.
By Miami, followed by the Red Bull game. Just
No, no,
because,
for sure. I always said that the end result with Atlanta, while disappointing, I don't think we can blame anybody. It's just the cruelty of the sport. It was just a fortunate bounce for them, and they capitalized and all the story. And I always said that unfortunately the tie games with Atlanta, they are always the ones equalizing. So they are the ones leaving home.
yeah,
Even going home with this, oh, we score, we save something, we ruin their victory. So that's why you always feel side wins for them. Uh,
yeah.
what do you expect Saturday, man? We're playing a dumpster fire in Colorado.
Well, we're playing at home, so I don't even know what to say. I really I want a win. I don't want a draw because for me, we tie against the team. It feels like a loss, right? It's
Yeah,
not a
yeah,
loss on paper, but it feels like if you're up and they tie, it's like a just stab me now. I really want us to win. Who doesn't, right? But when
for
you look,
sure.
I think they're lower than us on the table, which would make you think that it's a given. But with us lately, I don't think that's ever a given.
No, I hear you, brother. I hear you. I think
I just want to see them gelling still.
Mhm.
That with that same drive and that
I
same
think the last three games have shown us that those guys know each
yeah,
other, and
yeah,
and they wanna win for each other.
I would
So
even say it started in the Columbus match with us coming back.
correct,
It
yes,
was a huge
absolutely right.
comeback.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
no, no, absolutely. And so as for me, like I have said, I told Whaling before you, and I was telling John, I mean, demanding not perfection, because no team out there is perfect. I don't care if you have a team full of stars. It's There's always room for improvement, and there's always going to be bad things happening to a club. But I think for us as a fan base, we need to start looking high, because we after this game, we have a very tough road ahead. We got Leagues Cup coming up, and then after that, we have an August, a September, and October with very few home matches.
Yeah,
Uh, and I guess that may be a good thing based on our form.
yeah.
But now, my friend, before we let you go, I just want you, what's your feel about social media? I see a lot of people that have turned this situation with Oscar Pareja, which, by the way, I agree with some friends on Facebook that told me the conversation about Oscar Pareja is for December. It's not for now, because we can't keep going like he's out, he's in, he's out based on the results, because it's ridiculous. But on social media, the debate's still out there. Are we a good team or we're a bad team? And To me, um, I'm sad to say we're gonna make playoffs, because this year,
Yeah.
with 9 teams making play, I mean, you have to have a very bad season not to. I think is more difficult to miss the playoffs than to make them. But at the same, I feel that we're not a team that is gonna be making a lot of noise, unfortunately for our friends. I wish I could be more enthusiastic, but anyhow, there's always room for improvement, and a team can surprise us. So
Yeah.
uh, after this Saturday, which we expect it to be a win, but in the past we have been fooled. What do you think Orlando City? Well, I'm gonna ask you the same question as William. What Oscar Pareja needs to do to change your mind?
Be more consistent.
Okay.
Winning is great, right? But more consistency will be the start. And I mean, so the cup, the MLS Cup, ugh, that would be a week. For me, the thing about it is we went into this season with such high expectations.
Ah,
The Open Cup, the CONCACAF, with all the new players. And I remember the first episode that you guys did. I was like, if we're gonna have this season turn out the way we need to come out strong. And it was
mhm.
like stepping and missing like the first step in a staircase, and we just went tumbling down. It felt like that's what happened to us, and it just like felt like went out the window. So I don't know. There's just so much.
No, for sure, brother. I can't refute that. Perfect analogy. We've missed that step, and we've been
Yeah,
trying to recover ever since.
we had so much, especially in the beginning, with all the extra games and everything going on, and then the exit in the Open Cup. It was just like poof, poof, poof. It's like somebody smacked me.
for
Okay.
sure. And
Last two matches, by the way, Ahmed.
What's that?
The last two matches, if my research was correct, was the first time since 2021 that Poppy put the same roster, same exact lineup out in back-to-back matches.
Oh, okay.
wow,
Wow, that's interesting. It's funny
that's
because we were
incredible.
watching the game on the flight. My wife was like, "Why don't we play this lineup like more often?" I was like, "Well, you have to. It depends on the team. But to your point, maybe that's something to consider."
No, for sure. I think this Saturday those players earned their spot, and we gotta play to win. We were just talking before you came on that we out of 8 home games, we only have 1-2. So
Yeah.
we're due for it. All right, man, we have somebody else coming
All right.
on, my friend.
All right. Thank
So
you.
any departing words? Where can we find you on social media?
My Instagram is Ahmed Salim. Just all one word. Just like you see.
Beautiful, my friend.
At
So
Ahmed Salim.
I mean, you know that I love when you come on, brother. You gotta make it a constant,
I try
and
my best.
hopefully we'll run into each other at the stadium. And
Absolutely.
not like the one time, we saw each other in the restroom. I wanted to say hello to you, but it's so awkward. How am I gonna approach a man that is peeing in a urinal with 15 other people?
I get you, man.
So it's
I'll see you guys. Maybe I'll see you guys on Saturday at the game.
absolutely, my friend.
All right.
Have
Take
a
care.
good one.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
brother. All right, guys. So before we let our friend Vixen Macassi on, I just want to mention this. Our captain, the Uruguayan legend, Mauricio Pereira, has reached 100 appearances. Friends, the 100 club keeps growing, and I'm super excited about this. This means continuity, consistency, something that Ahmed was talking about. And a guy that is halfway there and is the boy wonder from Montevideo, Uruguay, República Oriental del Uruguay. And that is Cesar Araujo, that already has hit 50. So, friends, I'm super excited about that. Obviously, this Saturday, our captain will be recognized. So when that happens, please stand up and give you an ovation. So we are letting our friend Vixen here on the Capo stand. What's happening, my friend?
Hey, nothing much, man. How you guys doing?
Good,
Doing
Dixon.
great,
Thank you for
brother.
joining.
Awesome, man. Nice, man. I love this show. I love this show so
Thank
much.
you, brother. I appreciate that. Sometimes, thank you, brother. Sometimes it's tough. It's tough because there's a lot of tough competition out there. Thank you for everybody that chooses to watch our show or listen to our show. Thank you very much. Real quick, impressions about Saturday, last Saturday. What your expectations are this Saturday, and where we are with Orlando City.
So I really like Angulo. His performance was absolutely phenomenal. Rafael Santos.
Unsung hero.
Nobody's made. I think he deserves a little bit of headlining there. I love the guy left back. Excellent replacement from Lucas Petrasso being out. Rafael Santos. He wants that position, and I don't mind it if he's there for the rest of the season. He's very passionate. You can tell that he's the guy to win. Nobody seems to talk about him. Like I'm not. I'm like, yo, you guys.
You know what? Because he's not a loud guy. He's low key. He's very humble. He's one of those guys. Head down, get to work.
Yeah, and I love that. And Rafael Santos. I'm a huge Santos fan. Let's go. Cartagena. That simple like middle school pass, level 1 soccer, and Cartagena saw it right there. Perfect opportunity to get a great assist before international duty. I got scared a bit. It looked like he got injured, and I'm Peruvian, and
There you go, brother.
And I'm Peruvian. I thought it looked like.
with Galese. By the way, I guess I'm in the liberty to say this. I texted our friend Sergio, who was narrating the game in Spanish for Apple Plus, alongside the legendary Miguel Gallardo, and I said, I sort of asked him a bunch of things, but it's just football. He was never injured. He just threw himself there just to cool things down.
Well,
but Yeah. It was just the dark arts that my friends. That was the dark arts. Now, one thing I gotta tell you before I forget, uh, it was the goal that never happened. That if it did, I probably will be waking up from my coma at Orlando Regional Medical Center. But right about now, maybe was that back heel from the Nebraskan assassin, Duncan McGuire. And I laughed because what Sergio said to Miguel was, if had that gone in, shut the lights off, everything, let's go home because it's over. And I just laugh out loud. I had to tell him, I texted him, I told him, I said, dude, insane. Because I don't think anybody's talking about that. It was an insane back heel that if that had gone in, man, probably Miguel Gallardo said if that had that gone in, goal of the year.
Yeah, that right there. Put that goal right there, right next to a comparison to Nani, back against Sporting Kansas City away and he made that goal.
Oh my God!
When I saw that on TV, I was watching it on TV. I was like, dude, and then now 3 years later, I think that was before the pandemic for sure.
No, that was in 2021. That goal that you're talking about.
Really? Oh, I thought.
Yeah. It seems like ages ago. I know, but that's how recent it is. It was his last year with us.
What?
It was at Kansas City. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, yo, flashback to Nani, flashback when Duncan did that. I was like, yo, this guy. I mean, you're talking Nani doing that. He played in Manchester United and and then we got the Nebraskan individual going at 20 years old doing that stuff. Man.
Duncan McGuire, people.
My favorite skill in the match was Facundo. When he went up for the header, went down, Cara trapped it, and the ball was right there sitting in front of Facundo. Facundo takes off, flicks it with the left heel over his head, and then nutmegs Reyes, and Reyes takes him out for his first shot. When I saw that on the TV, I was dumb. That was the back heel that he hit in the game, in the play of the game at full speed. I mean, you see guys do that warming up and everything, and they, skid it off their healer. That was the most beautiful little. I call it a rainbow flick. It wasn't really a rainbow flick, but it was.
In Spanish, it's a sombrerito, a little hat.
Nutmeg.
I think Facundo Torres had like a little notepad, like, oh, this used to be an Inter Miami player. Let me do something dirty to him, and wrote that down, and look what happened.
Yeah, man, for sure. I mean, I'm not happy that people get hurt. Don't get me wrong, but it was unfortunate. It was unfortunate, but you know what? I don't know. Miami. Sometimes I forget to be human, and I become a savage. But I gotta tell you guys, you mentioned Vixen, you mentioned Nani. Unfortunately, Nani's recuperating from his knee surgery. He's not gonna be returning to the Australian Football League. His time cut short there. Man's turned 37 this year. I think it's gonna be imminent. His retirement. I have heard rumors that Sporting Lisbon is probably gonna sign him for a day so he can retire in his home country and his home club, his parent club. And when that happens, I hope that the great Nani considers coaching. I think in my opinion, one of the greatest Orlando City players ever. Certainly with the most incredible goal, that back heel that we're talking about in our history. But to me, what will always live in my heart from our former captain is that winning goal against Miami in MLS is back. The league wanted to embarrass us, wanted to humiliate us, and our captain said, "Not tonight, not today, Satan."
Mm-hmm.
And we won that game, and the rest is history. In my opinion, after winning that game, it has ushered this era of success. So, Vixen, you're right.
And to score a goal like that after what occurred previously in that game when Dom Dwyer and Reyes, kind of funny enough, we're talking about him again. I wouldn't say Dom Dwyer injured Reyes, but like the referee wasn't really controlling the game very well because
Uh-huh.
he should have studied how Dom Dwyer plays. So like I feel like he should have controlled the game better. And if he did, if the referee would have controlled the game better, then I don't think what Dom Dwyer did would have occurred. And
Yeah.
and then Nani did all that after what happened way earlier in the game. Um, but I heard back to Nani. I heard Nani's gonna be in the beautiful game.
Yep. I
Oh,
was gonna
okay,
bring that up.
okay.
Yeah.
You heard about that, John? Yeah.
Yeah. I saw that. That was announced
Mm-hmm.
late last week on social media that he's going to be joining. Some of the legends of the
Yeah.
game.
Nice.
Yeah, so he'll be back in town, and you're gonna say something, David?
No, no, no. I'm glad that you guys brought that up. Listen, I've been busy making a living, so I haven't been on top of this type of thing. So I'm listening to you guys. I'm happy if the game does not conflict with Orlando City or anything like that. I can make it. I would love to see. Listen, Nani is in my opinion one of the best to ever play the game. Some people are not gonna put him way up there because he never went to a World Cup, he never lifted the trophy and all that.
Um,
I get that, but what he did in Orlando cannot be underestimated. And by the way,
of course.
Ibrahimovic has Ibrahimovic has announced that he's retiring.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I wish that he had been on the pitch when LA Galaxy came here.
Yes.
Never had the opportunity to see him in the league because the two games that we played against them were in LA. The only thing that I have to say is if you watch the video of his 500th career goal, I believe it was against Toronto.
That was Toronto.
Sickening.
It was a karate kick.
Yes, sickening goal. It's a sickening goal. It's a goal that you see that and you just poke your eyes out. You don't need to see anything else in the world. And not only that, his first goal in MLS at El Tráfico, filth. You need a hazmat suit just to watch that.
Yeah, with a SubHub Center. Well, previously
both goals he had in that game. Both goals. I mean, he came in and took that game over.
Mm-hmm.
Just to let you know, the beautiful game is June 23rd. It's a Friday night at 7:30.
Beautiful.
I'm excited because my favorite player of all time, Ronaldinho, the Brazilian legend, arguably, if he had the work ethic of Cristiano Ronaldo, probably would have been the greatest player of all time because the stuff that man could do with a soccer ball was otherworldly. He's going to be there. Roberto Carlos is going to be there. Several other legends. So it'll be a fun night.
And Orlando City's playing away at Seattle, so there's nothing else going on.
Be able to go up there and watch it, enjoy some old guys, kick the football around.
Yeah, one of my favorite memories with Nani, well, he was so passionate. It was a game between Colorado Rapids and Orlando City, and it was a 3-3 game. Drowning rain, crazy rain. Tim Howard's last game here in Orlando as a Rapids player, and Orlando City got a penalty at the last minute. Kellen Acosta did a dirty tackle, and then you can see Kellen Acosta, and he's kind of a big deal now in the USMNT world. And then Nani just went right at it face to face, like, no, that wasn't a penalty. Yes, it was a penalty. Like it was like. Really?
Oh man, I miss Nani. This conversation had just made me want to go and watch some
highlights, right?
There's some highlights, man. So all right, so we're wrapping it up, my friend. Thank you for coming. Before you go, where can we find you on the internets?
Okay, on Instagram, I'm Vixen. Just my name, my first name. That's it. On Instagram.
Beautiful, my friend. Well, listen, I enjoy when you come on, brother. I encourage you, like all our friends that have been on with us tonight, to please be with us next Monday and hopefully talking about a great win against Colorado. So thank you very much, my friend. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, brother. So thank you, Vixen, for being with us. John, if you can do us the honors here, read these next two comments.
William Aguilar, Rafael Santos is definitely a better left back than Petrasso was. Hopefully, Pereira realizes that, and I'll put Petrasso back in that position when he gets back from injury.
Okay, next one.
William continues. I also forgot to mention that Kara is a 1/2 off. It is a very smart of Pereira to have him on the first half and sub him out after he gets tired. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, good deal. So before we go, since we're hitting the 120 mark, and we want to thank everybody that's with us live, um, I want to go about what's going to happen in the month of June. I strongly suggest, especially if you are the type of guy that cannot make midweek games at the stadium, that you go this Saturday to support the boys because, like it happens to me. Sometimes I travel, sometimes I'm not in town. If I'm not here on the 21st, guess what? It looks like I may go a full month without going to the 655 West Church Street Exploria Stadium. So we're gonna be playing Colorado here at home, followed by the 17th, going out up to Massachusetts to face the New England Revolution. Big test for our team. New England Revolution right now super hot. So let's see what happens. Then after that, we return home to play Philadelphia Union. That is super hot. This is again. This month is to me after Saturday. It's the real test for Poppy. Wednesday, the 21st, we at home. We're gonna receive the Philadelphia Union. Saturday, the 24th, we go out to Seattle. Huge test due to travel, and of course, Seattle Sounders, one of the powerhouses of our league. And I'm gonna venture a little further out into July, real quick, since we were talking about the Summer of Sadness. Saturday, July 1st, we are going to be playing against Chicago, having an awful season. The return of boy wonder Chris Mueller to Orlando. I plan to clap for the man. He left in good terms, and I know a lot of people are angry that he left, but you can blame somebody for trying to, to experience playing in Europe as short as it was for him. Then we have 2 days later, Tuesday, July 4th, we are going to be playing at home against Toronto. Traditionally, we lose the 4th of July game. I'm just going to being real. And lastly, we are going to returning to Salt Lake City after years of absence on the 8th, on the 15th. We're going to be going up to Atlanta. In my opinion, it has to be a win. And then Friday the 21st and the 29th, we're going to be playing here in Orlando against Houston as a local, and as against Santos Laguna from Liga MX as the away team, but again in Orlando for Leagues Cup. So hopefully that is going to work out. If you don't have tickets for Leagues Cup, please consider getting them and supporting the boys. John, any departing words before we call it a night?
Yeah, Chris Mueller, I'll have a difficult time clapping for him. I mean, I know you got to play the part and hype the other fans up, but kind of the way he dissed our supporters upon leaving was unnecessary. And then just kind of his attitude since he's been back towards, from what I've seen, towards Orlando City and the rest of the MLS, it's really rubbed me the wrong way. I was really sad to see him go to begin with. I wish he would have been able to stay, but then he pulls stunts like that. It's gonna be hard for me to clap for him when he comes on. Doesn't mean I'll boo him, but doesn't mean I'll clap for him either. I'll kind of remain indifferent because I feel like he's the type of person that if he were to score against us, he'd have a big celebration for it.
Yeah, and I got some gossip for you, John, about Chris Mueller. This is from somebody that used to work for the club. He's no longer there. I'm not gonna say his name because doesn't matter, but this person told me that several people in the club advised Chris not to go to the Scottish Premiership for two main reasons. And two main reasons. The first one was that they felt that it was a very highly competitive league that was not going to forgive him any indiscretions. And we saw what ended up happening. The manager that hired him got fired before he got there. and the guy that welcomed him was in a relegation battle and did not have time to entertain this kid from Chicago. And I gotta be honest with you guys, in the UK, as much as I love my club Stevenage, as much as I love our fans from Orlando City, UK, am sorry, they play the best football in the world, and they have high expectations,
Mhm.
and Americans still have not earned that respect from the fans. And while Chris Mueller have had a decent outing at the Scottish Premiership with Hibernian. The fact of the matter is that it wasn't good enough. People here at the club told him not to do it. He did it anyways. He listened to his agent that got in his head that you can do better, and he failed. And he had to come back to MLS. He burned the bridge in Orlando for sure, especially with Oscar Pareja.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, he left us. He left us a lot of money when he returned to the league, and also a very high piece, which I believe is the one that we used to draft the Nebraskan assassin. So, in my opinion, I can be humble.
Yeah.
He did what he had to do. I wish him the best. But
Yeah. Oh,
he
I understand him leaving. I
yeah.
completely, it's a dream. If I was in his shoes, I would have probably left. The best chance to leave, you're kind of leaving Orlando on a high.
Hmm.
But then, the way he left, you got to leave a little more gracefully than that. You got to kind of
No,
play
I
him
agree with you.
and
And
everything.
you have to see how he also probably feels at the fact that he leaves. Sorry, oops, I was looking for something and that came up. You also have to look at the fact that the fact that he had to just watch us lift a trophy the year after he left. That had to be devastating, especially
Well,
after.
if he would have given a little more effort the second half of that season, we may, but we had a chance to lift the trophy to that season, but he decided to kind of stop playing the second half once he signed the contract to go to Scotland. At least in my opinion, he did. He didn't seem like he was near the player that he was. He didn't have the fire that he had earlier in his career for us. But like I said, don't blame him for going. I'm not salty he left. I'm salty the way he left, and his kind of his attitude while he was going out the door.
No, for sure, for sure. So, want to thank everybody that was on the show tonight. Vixen, Ahmed, and William. Thank you very much, guys, for coming on the show. You are more than appreciated, and your opinions are always valid. John, if you can read our final comments.
Definitely. Vixen commented and said, "I will most definitely clap for Mueller when he comes to Orlando. I'll be going to that game for sure." And then Jim D said, "I missed it tonight. I'll give it a listen tomorrow." No worries, Jim D.
Yeah, Jim.
It
Life
happens.
happens. Life happens. I'm just excited that unlike Oscar Pareja, I can put wins in a row, third week in a row that I'm actually doing the show from my house in Orlando. So look, I have a winning streak, unlike Oscar Pareja. But no, in all seriousness, hopefully, we can put our first back-to-back wins this season. It's June. It's June, friends, and we're begging the high heavens for a winning streak. So listen, winning streaks start with one win. That's all it takes. One goal, one win. Let's make it happen. So, John, before we go, any departing words? Where can we find you in the internets?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at jrdub15 and on Twitter at thatboyjrdub. Big three matches coming up. Said it a couple other times. Big three matches coming up. Got three key pieces of our starting lineup. Two stars definitely. The third one is on the verge of being a star for us. Are going to be out because of a well-deserved international duty. So these are three big matches. If we can get out these next three matches with 5 points, I'll be happy. If we can get 6, I'll be skipping around my apartment. If we can get 7 or more, I will be over the moon.
Listen, nothing to add to that, my friend. I want to win. I want to thank everybody that was here with us live. I want to thank everybody that is going to be listening to us on audio. Everybody that's going to be watching the show later on the YouTubes. Remind everybody that you can be on the show. You can comment live. So if you can find the time to join us 9 p.m. Every Monday, I will appreciate. We'll appreciate that for sure. I want to remind everybody we're on Twitch at on the Capo Stand. We're on Twitter at on the Capo Stand. We're on YouTube at Davis Channel 76. We're on Instagram at on the Capo Stand, and we're on Facebook on the Capo Stand podcast. Thank you very much to everybody that was on the show, that everybody that listened and is about to listen. At the end of the day, friends, we need to support our club regardless of what's going on. That's what makes you a fanatic. Somebody that when logic tells you otherwise, you keep pushing. Fact is a fact. With that said, my friends, we'll leave you as we always do by reminding you that football is the sport of those that don't mind having their mouths smashed and their hearts broken. From John and myself, which I can be found on Instagram at there underscore Florida underscore man 76. May God bless you. And as always, vamos, Orlando!